So are
Um,
we starting right now?
yeah, three, two, one.
Okay. What's your opinion on Instagram and how people's lives are becoming advertisements?
Ooh, that's a solid question. Yeah, I guess that's really true because at least from like the lifestyle and like fitness side of things, bloggers and such, even micro influencers, if you're under 100,000 followers, you can still like make a weird career out of it somehow. Yeah, so I think that advertising's getting smarter is probably my first uh would be like my first remark to that is that advertising's definitely getting smarter. It's less of like just like drawing your eyes and more of knowing where your eyes are already going. um Especially when it comes to fitness models
What
or
do you
stuff
what
like
do you
that.
mean by that?
like like advertising used to be about like, oh, there's high traffic areas, right? So like foot traffic or actual traffic, i.e. billboards. So you're looking at like billboards, signage, um, downtown Toronto or downtown New York or Vancouver or California, those type of places where there's a lot of people. You knew that you're going to put your advertisements there because there was always a guaranteed amount of people there. But now brands are like recognizing that, okay, I'm like, take Zia Fitness for an example. They're like, oh, I'm this leggings brand, but I'm in big competition with Lululemon. Let me find all these micro influencers and get them to sell my product
Yeah.
on their posts or hashtag me in their posts or put sponsored posts on Instagram, right? So it's like Instagram, which used to be the sharing thing, is now becoming like they're sharing, but they're sharing not for like the selfless reason, which was like, oh, let me show you just this cool thing that I did this weekend or like this picture that I took in its original intention. Now it's like, okay, let me show you this product that I'm endorsing because they're paying
It's
me.
like advertisers are aware more and more in today's day and age that instead of people looking up, they're looking down at their phones.
Yeah, no, I
And
agree with you there.
they're not advertising like this could be you anymore. It's advertising like this is
This,
someone. This is
yeah,
someone's life.
it's a lot of the FOMO, like that fear of missing out advertising,
Hmm.
just because like even if you look at Bud Light, their advert like sorry, Bud Light, you want to sponsor our episodes, please do. Um, but like their advertisements, Jägermeister, all of them, it's a lot more of that party look, those flashing lights, the fun, the ice cold of the drink, like the like Bud Light. I don't know, is it Bud Light where they did that like party car, and you get in the car and then you end up getting taken to this like location, which is this cool exclusive party. So
Are you
it's
talking about
more
the Bang
about
Bus right now?
no, not the Bang Bus. I like this is an actual ad by Bud Light and Heineken. I think they did something similar, but fuck. Okay, um, yeah, no. Like I'm almost positive that they're just putting a lot of emphasis on what, instead of like, oh, this could be you, it's like this is someone else and you're not doing this, so you're a loser.
Yeah. It's
It's a lot more toxic.
and I just find that everyone is trying to do this with their social media and stuff. Everyone's trying
Yeah,
to put their social media out there as though they're advertising to a greater audience. Um,
like they're all
and
influencers.
exactly, everyone's an influencer in today's day and age. Um, Even if you have 100, 200 followers, I would say you're still,
You still have influence over someone.
unless you're a really down to earth person, you're just posting to post, right? Um,
The majority of people
the
don't.
majority of people are like, okay, I need to get professional photos. I need to gets headshots, this, that. I need to get someone to edit these, and you're posting about your life in a way that isn't true to who you are.
Like, yeah, if we all posted us sitting on the couch on Saturday nights eating chips and watching TV all day because we didn't actually do anything, Instagram would be a lot less attractive.
And you can always post about the one time you went to the gym, but
Yeah, but never about like the 15 days in a row that you did.
I'm a gym rat, right? I go to the gym 4 days, 5 days a week now. Um, and I would bring people, you saw it when we went to school together. I
Mm-hmm.
would bring people to the gym and I would say, don't post anything. You're not trying to prove
Yeah,
anything to anyone.
because when you're posting like even just the slight like, oh, you throw something up on Instagram or you throw something up on your Snapchat story, like then it immediately changes something in your brain where you're no longer doing a healthy thing for yourself, you're doing it to impress others.
Yeah. And people who don't go to the gym often enough to post about it, they are just posting to look good in the eyes of others.
Yeah,
But you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be looking good in the eyes of others, in my opinion. You're supposed to be looking good in the eyes of yourself. And then once you feel good in the eyes of yourself, only then can do I give myself permission to post gym pictures.
yeah, like, oh, I'm posting these now because I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, at least most of it or
Yeah.
some of it. Yeah, but I think at least with advertising and how it's concerned, advertisers are getting smarter. Um, and if they're not getting smarter, then they're definitely using the resources already available to them a lot better than they used to. Just because, like you said, it was a lot more about like what you could do for yourself, where it was like, oh, look at who you could be, but now it's look at who this person already is that
Mm-hmm.
you're not. And I feel that although it is
It's not
still
even.
bad
I wouldn't even say it's
for
advertisers doing this necessarily. It's
it's
people
like just
who
people.
are making themselves the advertisement.
Yeah. And then like, oh, I'm this influencer now. So now like, oh, like I'm a bathing suit influencer, or like I'm this hot girl who wears bathing suits a lot and gets lots of
Mm-hmm.
likes on my pictures, right? But now I'm an influencer and you could pay me to wear your bathing suit and post it in my pictures. And people are lining themselves up for that. I find a lot more now. They're like posting the pictures that will get likes because they think, well, possibly one day I could be this Instagram model. And it's a lot more on the girls' side.
Mm. I would say it's equally on both.
What do you find guys are more like? Girls definitely the fitness and the modeling and stuff like that. That is like the
I
sex
would
sales
say
side of things
I
is
would say
definitely pushing on
females are
Instagram
more
for
about
women.
the um,
Body image?
body image, working out, posting positive thoughts. I know a lot of girls on Instagram that post like really positive things.
Like a lot of lifestyle based stuff?
Yeah, a lot of like lifestyle, a lot of stuff like that, right? Guys
Mm-hmm.
are all about like, okay, this is a business venture, and I'm gonna make my Instagram for my business, which is my personal Instagram, my business venture.
Do you think entrepreneurship is becoming more of a fad? Like more people are just like picking up
No,
the title entrepreneur. Everyone's calling themselves an entrepreneur.
I think I think everyone is an entrepreneur. We're entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
technically.
for sure. And like, but do you think people are just like making an Instagram account and saying, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire now?
Um, n-
More.
I don't think I don't think smart people are particularly
Yeah, but
thinking
there's a
like
lot
that.
of stupid fucking people in this world.
That's the issue, though.
Yeah.
It's every well, it's every hot girl with a camera, or every guy with abs with the camera is
Yeah.
posting their live, and then or posting them in shirtless or whatever, and then they get 1,000 followers. So they think they are more than they are.
like, is the Instagram models of, well, sorry, are the models of Instagram, like the female models of Instagram, the equivalent to like the male Twitch streamers that are like all coming out now? Like, there's like lots of them who are just like trying to stream all over. Like, don't get me wrong, we both stream on Twitch. We're both like, but I would say me and Alex both have taken the Twitch streaming up just because we like streaming to our friends. Like, that's a big thing for us. Like, we just like our friends to be able to jump and chat and watch us play games.
Here's the
And
thing with me streaming on Twitch, right? I don't do it because I want to make money off of it, because Twitch, there's such a saturated market, and only
yeah,
like the top 1% of creators make any amount of money that's worth making on it.
yeah, like the partnership program makes up what, 3% of all creators on
Um,
Twitch?
I just do it because why would I play a game by myself when I can do it with my buddy?
Yes. And like that I agree. Like, what was it? The other day I was playing Fall Guys on stream, and James stayed on for 2.5 hours. And we just like talked and played games together. Even though he wasn't playing the game with me, it still felt like he was playing the game with me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like when you invited your friend over and you guys played games and he was sitting on the couch beside you, like giving you pointers and stuff. Like that type of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The internet's like, it's definitely interesting. It has like elevated a lot of aspects of life, but also has like really changed, at least I find, how people like speak and like how they talk truth. At least a lot of people, I find a lot of people lie more, and like they feel exposed a lot more and get offended a lot more
Yeah, man.
because of a fake life that they're putting up on the internet.
You're trying to convince the world that you live a life that you don't really
Yeah,
live.
it's like, and that's, you're never going to convince. I mean, you could try for as long as you want, but you're one day something's going to happen where people are going to realize you're not who you claim to be.
Yeah.
So it's never a sustainable.
And it's like, I know a ton of people who post those things, post really happy things, post those positive thoughts that I was talking about before, but I meet them personally and they're not,
Just fucking miserable.
yeah, they're not healthy people. They're not,
At all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't say healthy in the sense that they're not healthy physically. A lot of them are attractive, go to the gym, do all this stuff, but mentally they're just like,
Scrambled.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
I agree.
in bad places, and
Um,
you're never. I don't think you're gonna solve those bad places with the, what is it called, endorphins or whatever that go to your brain for.
yeah, the
Uh,
serotonin you get from a like, or the dopamine you get
yeah,
from someone sharing your post or something, right?
that
Like,
happiness isn't gonna come with sharing a post every hour
I
or every
think
day.
I think the change that has come across, at least culturally, has been like the immediate satisfaction era of one, social media, and I'd say more the internet. Just because like since the internet has rolled out, I find this era of immediate satisfaction has come out, because there's like this, you get a like, that's immediate satisfaction to you. You get a share on your post, it's immediate satisfaction to you. You buy something off Amazon, well, it's there pretty much within 3 days. That's almost as immediate as it gets, right? So I feel like it has a little bit of a deeper cultural connection than it does just everybody's on Instagram and now everybody's fucked up in the head because they want likes from everyone, right?
Mhm. Do you think it's good for us that we're going in this direction? Because I see the logical conclusion to this would be, we have like a microchip in our brains that, like, it's like that Black Mirror episode
Mm-hmm.
where like
I,
we're
I wrote
rating people.
I wrote down a little like, will the internet ever rule the world, right on my little notepad right here, and like I don't know if it's a bad thing,
What do you mean
because
by that though?
what I mean by that, like, is like, will it ever completely take over our day-to-day life? Like, I still, in a lot of what I do, the internet is involved now. Like, a lot of what I do, like even my Starbucks coffee, or like I can download the Starbucks app and I get rewards and all this, and So that's directly connected to the internet because they know how often I'm buying my coffee, what days I'm buying my coffee, what I buy, and then what promotions they can give to me, right? So, and I guess like how I'm feeling about that is how do we find a balance? How do we find a like because the internet has done a lot of great things where it has like there's a lot of pros to this. And the ability to share photos and stuff like that on a platform like Instagram, there's a lot of pros to that. Um, I think the cons were likes, like the fact that there's a number attached to likes and that became like a popularity contest. I think that was an initial issue that we didn't understand about social media that we're now coming to understand. I think with Instagram taking away likes, that was a good step in the right direction.
Dude, after they did that, I got rid of like 100 followers.
Yeah, because it doesn't like and even for me, even in my own mentality, and like we've had this conversation one on one before where it's like, yeah, like the internet and what I put on the internet, I'm not as phased as I think that other people are. But even when Instagram got rid of likes, like same here, I purged a lot of my followers who were just I just was following because
I felt like the more likes I got, the more I was likely to receive.
yeah, or like the more likes I gave, the more I was likely to receive. So like
Because a lot of people would see seven. This is how even I thought. Like a lot of people, I even thought like, okay, there's 70 likes on this. Like, okay, I'm just gonna like it, right? It's whatever. Um, and it's kind of like it was kind of like a peer pressure for me. But then once they got rid of likes, I was just like who am I doing this for?
yeah,
A bunch of these people I don't even. It all comes back to the word like. A bunch of these people I don't like. A
mm-hmm.
bunch of people I don't know. It's not.
These acquaintances, quote unquote, that I've made in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That when push comes to shove, do I even really know this person's last name without looking at their user handle?
Mm-hmm. Or did I have any meaningful good interactions with this person? Um,
Other than
Other
by
than
a screen.
once or twice, or by a screen, or in elementary school, or this or that. Um,
Now,
and then
just
the people that really pissed me off are the people that I unfollowed them, and then the second I unfollowed them,
they unfollow you.
they unfollowed me because
That's such a
you know that
weird
they follow that shit.
like that has always confused me. Like the people who have the apps that check who's following you, like who's your mutuals. Or
Mm-hmm.
not your mutuals, but like who are you? Like as long as they are following you, you're following them. There's people who have apps who obsess over this. Like this takes up your time in your mind every day.
Yeah, people who have those apps, I'm just gonna say it, you are like shallow.
You have to be. You
And
have to be like there's something in your mind that like you didn't get enough attention as a child or something like that.
I wouldn't even like say that because that's going a little bit too deep, but like it's just like we
Yeah,
don't
that's obviously the common
we don't
scapegoat.
talk, like not even that. It's just like um why bother worrying. I guess it goes back to the advertising. It's your advertising, your brand is yourself in today's day and age.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, they take really big deal in their brand, which I think is dangerous.
Yeah, so
But that's
like
just me.
I agree. Segueing from that because I feel like it's definitely like they're escaping from something. They're looking to this to escape from something. Like what is that medium between like escapism and like actually getting stuff done, like being productive?
So I'm a
Like
pretty lazy person.
yeah, like definitely like I'm kind of lazy too. I'll agree
No,
there.
but I would say you're much more productive than me, like by far. Um, but
I might have like this whole pandemic thing has definitely brought my productivity levels down for sure. Like I'm much less motivated. But I think that's just a side effect of living at home and like not being able to go out for 3 months.
Yeah, I'm a generally lazy person, but what works for me is watching a couple of motivational videos, meditating sometimes, and it's kind of even like just guilting myself into doing stuff.
Yeah, like
Like,
telling yourself you're being a lazy fuck. Like get
yeah,
up.
like you're being a lazy fuck. What are you doing today that is positively impacting tomorrow?
Hmm. Like I was doing nothing one day, like literally nothing, and then I was like, "What are you doing right now?" You just kind of look at yourself and you're like what are you genuinely doing right now? And you've been staring at the YouTube screen for like the autoplay button for a good 6 hours and you just haven't done anything. And I'm like, maybe I'll get like my boating license today. And I felt like super productive after doing something. But I also feel great after like a night of gaming sometimes, right? Like I feel energized and recharged in certain areas when I just take some time to do nothing. So how do you, I guess, what is the secret sauce to finding the good balance between like, I need to play some games or escape for a bit tonight or do something else, or I need to work. I need to get something done.
I think that's such like a broad question that I
It
can't
is.
accurately describe what I do on a day-to-day basis because when I want to do nothing, I do nothing.
And when I want to do something, I do something.
No, no, no. But like when I want to do something, like I just do it. It's like
Yeah.
it's like like I
You have a
tell I
thought
tell
and it
I,
happens.
I tell people all the time like that Nike stuff, just do it. That's like the most motivational shit you can ever like that's the best ad campaign
Oh, dude,
ever
that slogan is fantastic.
because that's all people should be doing. Just don't think about it, just do it.
Mhm.
Like I would like to think I'm a very do things kind of person. I don't think about things too often unless I have to. But
Yeah.
most of the time I just go out, go for a run. It's like, oh, I'm doing nothing right now. What can I be doing? Run. Okay, go. And then
Yeah.
I go out.
I think and like this is something that we said we were going to talk on, but like being prepared, like setting yourself out like a timeline, a schedule, or at least having a rough idea of what you want to get done in a day is a good way of like combating escapism, I guess, or like even working on just being more productive so you have more time to escape per
So
se.
is this where we're gonna talk about how we did an entire podcast before this one?
Yeah. So this I guess this is a good
Or
time.
are we just gonna cut this part out?
No, we should definitely say it. This is probably a good time for us to say. Um, Me and Alex, we tried the whole just wing it with the podcast banter style, and that's that it doesn't work. And by what I mean it doesn't work is that you have to give yourself some guidelines, give yourself a little bit of help for the things that you want to get done by planning a bit. As much as planning's boring, you got to have a plan every once in a while. And everybody has a plan. Everybody has a plan for their life, or at least they have something they're thinking up in their head that they might not be sharing with anyone. So like planning out the little things definitely helps me at least stay more productive. So
Yeah.
all that to say, me and Alex have been sitting here for a good couple hours now, and you live and you learn. And this is now podcast episode 1, try number 2.
Uh, so I think this episode should be called "How to Make a Podcast."
How to make a podcast? Seriously, but yeah, like I completely think that productivity is hard, man. Like being productive is difficult. Like it's easy to be lazy. It's really really easy to be lazy. So I think making a constant effort to not be lazy, as weird as that sounds and like as easy as it is to say, um, is really important. Just telling yourself, yeah, get up, just do it. Yeah. So like talking about podcasts, favorite podcasts, or at least one that you would look at as probably one of the best that you listen to now or in the past?
Uh, I mean, I listened to podcasts for probably 5, 6, 7 years ish, for a long time. Let's just say, um, majority of that listening has been to Hello Internet by CGP Grey and Brady Heron. I strongly suggest that everyone listening to this podcast go listen to that podcast, as well as the Bill Burr podcast. That's just because he's
Funny
funny.
guy.
Funny. Dude, that guy can talk about the stupidest
Anything.
shit by himself. Like, you know what, like YouTubers do, like where
Just
they're
commentary, like CS:GO surfing style YouTubers, those guys.
yeah, they're just like talking to themselves, but he can just go on without even playing a video game.
That's it takes some skill, man. Like, I don't think people realize how much skill it takes to actually actively captivate someone.
Mhm.
Yeah. Has he gone through any scandals lately?
Bill Burr.
Yeah. Any new ones or what?
I don't know. He hates white women now.
Wow. Okay. That's
He thinks white women are ruining the comedy industry. That's what I'm caught up in there.
white women ruining the comedy industry. You know, that doesn't sound so far fetched, honestly.
With their fucking groups.
Their Facebook groups or what?
I'm gonna join a group. Who in their right mind joins a group?
You know, guys don't have like groups like women do, man. Like, they got guys have clubs, bro. Women have groups and guys have clubs. Like, there's the gun club, there's the Rotary club, there's the Italian club. That's the men's version of Facebook groups, bro.
Guys are like, yo, I'm really interested in this, and I want to like be interested in it with like other people, and then girls are like, yeah, I want to like save my son from dying in a car crash when someone else is drunk, so I'm gonna create Mothers Against Drunk Driving. and then everyone laughs at the girls.
It's funny because it's like, for the women it's all good intention, and then it turns into like the little tea parties and the gossip sessions, right? And for guys it goes from like, oh, we're interested in this thing and we should be interested in it together, to drinking beer and, you know, chilling and barbecuing, right? So it, like, I feel like the majority of groups, at least for adult men and women, end up just turning into social events so that people have shit to do.
Yep.
We cracked the code. That's it. That's why people are the way they are.
Getting back to the original topic of this, what are your inspirations for doing this podcast, Caleb? How did you want to do it?
Yeah, no, podcasts that I really, really liked, at least coming into this for sure. So there's this guy named Amir, and I forget the other guy, but it's this podcast called Amir Khan. No, not Amir Khan. Could be wrong there. But it's called a podcast called If I Were You. I've been listening to this podcast I stopped listening to it, but I was listening to it for years. And it was just this podcast where they had reader questions. They sent it in and they would answer the questions. These guys were both comedians, worked for BuzzFeed when it wasn't horrible, and just did a really good job. So that's what got me into podcasting. Obviously, Joe Rogan is a big inspiration.
Yeah, he's kind of unavoidable for anyone, especially anyone our age.
Yeah, anyone our age, especially like men.
Caleb's a little child at 19 years old. I'm
an old chap. An old chap at the 20.
21 soon.
Dude, I've always found that funny. How people always say like, I'm going to be 21 soon, instead of saying their age. Or like, I'm gonna be this age soon.
I feel like it discounts my oldness if I say that I'm 20. Because people say like, oh, I'm 20. Is like, oh, you're still so young, but you're like an adult, you know?
But when you're 21,
like, I'm 21. It means like I can do everything that like other people can do.
It's true. Other than that, Let me check my podcast app right here. Yeah, If I Were You with Jake Hurwitz and Amir Blumenfield. That's their names. That's probably the podcast that I really like the most, at least from like just two guys sat down in front of a couple microphones, had an idea, and executed it. And it was really cool. Impulsive, as much as people might hate on it, people are starting to like Logan Paul again, so I don't feel so scared to say this. The banter between Logan and Mike is really good. They're a good dynamic. So I think just stuff that is entertaining, but shows some humanness to it is really interesting to me.
Dude, have you seen Midnight Gospel?
Never seen it.
It's on Netflix. It's a little mini series there. It's like 8 episodes. I would strongly recommend you watch at least a couple episodes by maybe our next podcast, and we can discuss a little bit of it. It's a little bit of homework.
Cool. A little bit of a follow-up.
A follow up. What the best way I can describe it is it's a excerpt. I can't pronounce that word. Excerpt from another podcast, which is I think it's David Trussell.
Okay.
Hang on.
Let's get those accurate names here.
Yeah, let's get those accurate names. If you can hear
that's
my
the one. That's the one thing from Joe Rogan that I wish I had is a Jamie. I wish I had a Jamie to search everything up for me, man. Jamie, can you look that up?
Jamie, can you look that up for me, please?
Can you take a look at that?
No, we'll get kicked off YouTube for that.
Can you pull that up real quick?
Yeah, so it's called Duncan Trussell's Family Hour. It's a animated version of an excerpt from one of his shows, or from 8 of his shows.
So it's like a much better clips channel.
No,
I know. I'm joking.
It follows a story in the universe of the Midnight Gospel in that show, but it's all like the story follows the excerpts of his podcast with him talking to different guests every time, which is like such a unique concept that I haven't seen before, and he's like a genius for doing this stuff.
This is all on Netflix now.
Yeah, it is.
So he made it. He really made it. If you make it on Netflix with podcasts, you really made it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh yeah, I'll give it a listen or a watch, I guess.
Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Maybe we'll do.
It would be a interesting topic of conversation.
Maybe the people at home could also watch that.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
You could say hi,
and then they could listen to us, and then they could think, "Oh, I agree with them," or "Oh, I disagree with them."
Wow, relatable.
Oh,
relatable. I would like to continue listening to this podcast. Speaking of which, just a quick one. If you are listening to the podcast, we would love for you guys to come back next week and listen to the next one. So yeah, just click that follow button. Make sure you're paying attention to when these podcasts go live, and you're able to get the next one. This is a new thing that we're starting, and we would love to have you along for the journey. So I thought I'd just put the little plug in there. But coming back to what, I don't know, drives at least us to make a podcast, I would say, is that at the end of the day, we're both humans, and we both like to talk.
Some more than others.
Some more than others, for sure.
I'm not going to say who.
Not at all.
Say who.
I think you can. I think you guys will be able to figure that one out. And I think humans have this weird. Yeah, they want their voice to be heard. They want other people to agree with them and relate to them, right? So I think that, on a psychological level, is probably why we want to make this podcast.
Dude, I just want to talk my shit.